Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So November has been a difficult month for multiple reasons, one of which is the fact that earlier this week I got sick. I'm doing much better now, but you might still be able to hear it in my voice, which is why I'm mentioning it. And I am still working on exactly how I want to respond to recent events, such as the election and the events that have followed. So in the meantime, while I'm still working out the best way for me to respond to these recent events, particularly on this channel, today I'm going to just give everyone a break and do a book haul because I have been buying books. I have a stack of them over here. This is kind of a fall haul in general. I realized that the last haul I did was in July, which seems kind of crazy, but I am not entirely sure when all of these have been purchased, so I'm just calling this a general, like, autumn haul. And since I don't remember when I purchased a lot of these, this is just gonna kind of be in no particular order, in the order that I have them in. So, first on here is Spontaneous by Aaron Starmer. This is a young adult, I guess maybe you could call it sci-fi, or maybe it's fantasy, I don't actually know. But the premise is that suddenly people just start self-combusting, and no one really knows why. And the main character witnesses, I think, 2 of them in a row. She witnesses both of the first 2, and it's written in a way that is gruesome, but also darkly funny. I read the first few chapters when I was in the bookstore, and John Green really loved it, which is not, for me, necessarily a reason to buy it, but it's a reason to check it out, and then I liked what I saw. So yeah, this one is gonna be read at some point, who knows. The next one, this is the one that I do know when I bought it because I bought it last night. It is Trouble Makes a Comeback. This is by Stephanie Tromley, and it is the sequel to Trouble is a Friend of Mine, which I have over here. I read Trouble is a Friend of Mine when it came out because I picked it up just sort of randomly. The cover caught my eye in the bookstore. I read about 3 or 4 chapters in the bookstore and then realized that this was going to be one of those that I couldn't put down until it was done. So I bought it, brought it home, and finished it that night. So it was extremely compelling. It's sort of a Veronica Mars type novel with like the teen private investigator and, you know, they're getting into shenanigans. The thing is that I actually found one of the main characters completely infuriating. His name was Digby. He's the like PI type character, and he is just completely rude and self-absorbed and just horrible, but also everyone kind of knows that he's horrible and he's kind of compelling anyway. So yeah, I kind of hate Digby, but so does everyone else, and that makes it better. And also just, I read the book in one sitting, so I kind of have to check out the sequel, which is Trouble Makes a Comeback. So we'll see how it goes. The next book on here is one that is not going to be a surprise because I put it in my last video. It is Gemena by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is the sequel to Illuminae. I have started this one. I'm not very far yet. I absolutely loved Illuminae, and Gemena is sort of, it's a sequel, but it's also kind of a companion in that it starts off where the main characters don't know how bad shit is about to go, and so I'm reading... Oh, thank you. Is that so? So, having read Illuminae, I can sort of see the seeds of how stuff is about to go very, very wrong in Gemena. I'm a little bit wary of seeing how badly this is gonna go. Oh, hi! So the next book that I have on here is Nevernight by Jay Kristoff, who is one of the co-authors of Illuminae and Gemena, which is kind of the reason that I got it. I just really loved Illuminae, and so I decided to check out Jay Kristoff's other works. And this one is an adult fantasy book about a girl who I think is orphaned. I read the synopsis a long time ago and now I've kind of forgotten, but I think it was that the main character was orphaned and then like joins an order of assassins, if I'm remembering this correctly. And yeah, it just sounded cool, and I'm curious to see what he does when he is not co-writing, when he's writing by himself. So I guess I'll find out. So the next book on here is one that is not totally my normal thing, but I picked it up because the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge has a category of read the first book that you see in a bookstore, and this was the first book that I saw that I would actually want to read this year, and this was Jay Asher's What Light. This is a contemporary YA. I've read 13 Reasons Why. I actually have it over here. This is Jay Asher's other book that got really famous, and this is about a girl who commits suicide, and It is very heartfelt, and I'm not totally sure how I'd feel about it if I read it now, but I really found it very compelling the first time that I read it. It's very emotional. So this one, What Light, has a very different premise. It is about a girl who lives on a Christmas tree farm in Oregon, and so every year they pack up their Christmas tree farm and go set up in California, and so she ends up sort of having two lives, like her life in Oregon and then her life during Christmas in California. And then, you know, there's a boy. This book is a contemporary romance, so the plot isn't going to be really that complex, but we'll see how it goes, and I enjoyed the other book that I read of his, so I'm hoping that I like this one. I've got a couple more on here, so the next one is The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. This is, again, one that I have read another one by this author. It was Everything Everything. And this one I also had kind of a complex relationship to, in that I thought that it was very moving, but I had kind of some problems with the way that it ended, in that I was very uncomfortable with some of the things that the book did, but I also thought that it was done very well and very interestingly. So The Sun is Also a Star is about two immigrant kids. Everything Everything is about a girl with that immunocompromised disease where she like can't come in contact with any kind of outside agent, so she's basically been living in her house for 16 years. This one is about two immigrant kids. One of them is about to be evicted, and one of them I think is about to go off to, I don't remember, some Ivy League school. Anyway, they are from two different countries and their parents are totally, you know, different, and their families are totally different, but I believe this is another contemporary romance novel. But this one features, you know, two kids of color, which I always appreciate. So I only have one more normal book, and then a couple more you'll see when I get there. So the next one on here is Ghost Talkers by Mary Robinette Kowal. I can't remember. This is the same person who does the Regency with Magic books, the Shades of Milk and Honey, which is here, and the first one of these is basically just Pride and Prejudice with magic, but then each continuing one is sort of its own mini subgenre, and I really enjoyed these ones. And so I haven't finished that series, but when I saw this one, I knew that I was gonna have to check it out because it is a World War I ghost spy novel. That's just awesome. I have to do that. And I actually went and saw Mary Robinette Kowal do a signing at my old bookstore down in San Diego, and so she signed it to me. But basically the main character, Ginger, works at the spiritualist corps of the British Home Office, and oh my god. And her job as a medium is to collect information from the spirits of soldiers that have died on the front of World War I and then pass them on to the Home Office, and that just is such a cool concept. And the plot is that one of the ghosts comes back and gives her information about some kind of treason plot, but then passes on, and because her fiance isn't around to vouch for her, and she's a woman in 1914, none of her superiors believe her, and so she kind of has to take matters into her own hands. So, war spy novel with ghosts. I'm kind of into it. So the last books that I have to show you are ones that I would not normally buy these kinds of things, but I had some extra 20% off coupons at Barnes & Noble, and I just wanted them. So I bought the box set of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which is so pretty. Look at the spines. I love when spines connect like that. And then I bought the Heroes of Olympus box set. So yeah, I have both of them now. I kind of love the difference in sizes though. Like, it's 5 books, both of them, but yeah. Anyway, I love the Percy Jackson books. I love Heroes of Olympus. I got all of them out of the library when I read them the first time, and so I really wanted to reread them, and I also wanted to lend them out to people, and also they're just really pretty. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it, you know? Yeah, that's what happens. But they're so pretty, aren't they? So that is gonna be everything for this book haul. Say hi to my cat if you want to. This is Smudge. He wants to say hi to the internet. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of the books that I mentioned. Let me know what you thought of them, and you know, if I should be putting any further up or down on my TBR pile. And I will see you guys very soon with another video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Hi. Hi, my dear. Must you whine? Must you whine over every video? I love you, but you're annoying. Oh, and yes, I did change my hair.